Super Mario Maker. If there's anything I've learned from playing games over the years, is that I'm pretty bloody good at a lot of them. Okay, maybe not, but I have never and never will be any good at creation games. Just games in general that thrive on originality and imagination have never been my strong suit. I mean, you know, I'd like to think of myself as a pretty creative guy, but yet when given an empty canvas in a game to create my own levels, I got nothing. I don't even know where to start. So here's a game that's perfect for me to review, but not really. The idea of having a Super Mario level editor is a really cool idea, something I've wanted to see for years now. I mean, after all, the only reason that we even have the new Super Mario Bros. Games is due to the popularity of emulators and fan-made levels in the first place. But before I get into the game itself, I want to quickly talk about the little art book that comes with it. As a personal fan of gaming art books, knowing that Mario Maker was getting one too was super exciting. And man, is this a pretty boring art book. Whoa, thanks guys, this really shows me the behind the scenes of the game. How enchanting. What a bloody peek behind the curtain this is. Like, what even is this? What am I looking at right now? I get that the idea was more to inspire me with my own creations, and there are some old drawings at the back that are pretty awesome, but all in all, I flicked through this book once and I probably won't ever again. So anyway, let's talk about the game. As I was saying before, I have little to no creativity when making my own levels, which may or may not make a pretty large part of this game almost impossible for me to review, but here we go anyway. Here is a summary of my experience with making my own levels. Wow! Blocks everywhere! Just nothing but blocks! Hey, I should make a level that's just one big bottomless pit with single blocks to jump on, because that isn't the most cop-out lazy idea ever. I could do better than that. Okay, let's try something new. Okay, how about some blocks right here, just to start the level off? How about just a few blocks right there? That'd be good. Maybe like a wall jump thingy, just something to wall jump up. That could be kind of cool. I don't know, like a little thing. How about a buttload of enemies? Just loads of enemies, just way too many enemies. And there you have it, a bottomless pit with single blocks to jump on, for God's sake. Alright, forget it, I'm just gonna go back to spamming blocks. Clearly that's all I'm good at. Yay! Saying that though, I actually did have quite a few ideas for levels, but the game is made in such a way so that it creatively castrates me. I had an idea for a level that involved lava, moving platforms, invisible blocks, and Hammer Bros. Pretty much all of the most annoying facets of a Mario game in one level. But none of these items are available at the beginning of the game, instead needing to be unlocked by spending enough time creating levels. So in other words, if you have a good idea for a level that you want to make, you can't make that level until you've spent enough time making levels that you don't want to make. That's dumb, what the hell? But I will admit, at first I did like this idea. One of the main reasons I could never get into LittleBigPlanet 2's creator mode is because it overwhelmed me with a million complex mechanics at once, and it completely put me off. So having the game give me all the tools I need in bits instead of all at once sounded like a good idea. But I don't really like it. The end result is a game that's centered around creation, but won't give you all the tools that you need to create right away, which is really stupid. Imagine if Photoshop did that, or Adobe Premiere, or Paint. It wouldn't feel cool, it'd feel like creative claustrophobia. These are tools that definitely shouldn't be unlocked, but that doesn't mean that LittleBigPlanet 2 went about it in the right way either. They're both polar extremes that put me off entirely for the opposite reasons. So in conclusion, I'm pretty terrible at making levels. I have no creativity, patience, or even the energy, to be honest. But when you're not making your own levels in Super Mario Maker, you're playing levels made by the community. And boy is this dumb. And stupid. And bad. Okay, maybe not really, but let me explain. Pretty much the entire appeal of Mario Maker is being able to make and play levels reminiscent of the original games. But nobody makes levels like that! There are either levels that go for being difficult to the point of not being any fun, levels that are just pure insanity, levels that look like they were just farted out, levels that don't even make any sense, like what, how did I die? And worst of all, levels that play themselves. Which at first is pretty impressive. The first time? Maybe not so much the third time. Or the fifth, then you realise it's those kind of levels that make up around 90% of the game's content. Now, obviously I was over-exaggerating when I said that it's dumb and stupid and bad, because there are a lot of great levels. One of my personal favourites being a level called Super Meat Bros, a faithful recreation of a level in Super Meat Boy. But sometimes you really have to sift through the poop to get to the good, which you can only really do by either clicking on stuff at random until you just happen to stumble across a good level, or by putting in a giant code manually. Not like in LittleBigPlanet where you can directly look up levels and creators using text and words. Nintendo have always seemed to prefer their bloody codes for some reason, and that's all I really have to say. Some levels are good and some levels aren't. I mean, most aren't, but the ones that are good are really good. So that's about it, really. Like I said, this game's almost impossible to review. There is some cool stuff in this game, like the 100 Mario challenge, where you have to complete 100 Mario levels with only 100 lives, which ends up being really fun if you end up with any of the kinds of levels I was on about before. It also has really cool amiibo functionality, by which I mean the game started out with giving you a custom skin for every possible amiibo, and now at the time of this review there's over 120 unlockable skins, which is pretty bloody insane. Such as that girl from WarioWare, Mario Kart, Captain Toad, this terrifying monstrosity, Mr. Saturn, this thing, this weird flexing bunny, a question block, a spring, Mario driving a Mitsubishi, which you earn by playing a level made by Mitsubishi. What do I even say to that? I have nothing. I have nothing to say to that. I thought it was a bit of a weird inclusion in Mario Kart 8, but this is even weirder. I don't get it. Why? I mean, I like it, but why? But collecting all these costumes does make for pretty good replay value. I mean, sure, it might not change the way you play the game like in Puppeteer, but it's just a fun little extra thing, and it's amazing how often they update it. Like, literally just now, at the time of recording this narration, they just announced a new one for Super Mario Land, a Sky Pop costume or something like that. It's so cool. It gives Nintendo an opportunity to embrace their weirder, more Japanese side, which I fully support. The only downside to this is that these bonus costumes are only available in the Mario 1 levels, which I guess makes sense. They couldn't really design over 100 sprites in 4 different art styles, but even still, it would have been cool to see. And as simplistic as that might sound, I don't really have all that much else to say. I know I said that like 30 seconds ago, that I got nothing else to say, but now I really do have nothing else to say. At its core, Super Mario Maker is a pretty small game. It doesn't have a story mode like LittleBigPlanet, or many modes of gameplay like LittleBigPlanet, or a convenient way to use the course world like LittleBigPlanet, or say a level creator that I liked. Or a good art book. But I can't deny that it is a lot of fun. The classic Mario games are just so polished to perfection that it's hard to mess the core gameplay up, even when you make a level like this. And it's only really due to that I can recommend this game. If this was just some random level creator game with subpar gameplay, the rest of the game as a whole would just be subpar. But because it's Mario and it has Mario's nice smooth gameplay, it makes it into a game that is good, and I like it. It's a good game. Yeah. It also makes for a fun game to stream. Yeah. What? No! No, that's stupid! And now I'm all out of things to say for real this time. That's Super Mario Maker. Thanks for watching my review. Bye! Okay, I've now done this shot so many times of me trying to catch this stupid book that I've now ripped it. So, screw it, I'm not doing this shot anymore!